Miss the mudbugs?
So did we.
It's crawfish season.
So we veganized the iconic Cajun crawfish boil.
Our secret ingredient?
Mushrooms!
So you might be asking yourself, what are crawfish? Crawfish are freshwater crustaceans resembling small lobsters that live in the swamps of Louisiana. But we'll get more into the history of crawfish in a second. First, let's get to cooking. First things first, we're going to shuck our corn because we love corn. It has the juice. Let's get to shucking. We're going to cut the corn into thirds. Next, we're going to peel and quarter our onion. Next, we're going to cut our garlic head in half. You don't need to peel or mince this because it's an aromatic that's going to be used to season everything. It's going to go straight into the boil broth along with the onion.
Now we're going to slice our mushrooms. The mushrooms are a nice stand-in for the crawfish because they have that meaty bite. And we're using 2 pounds of mushrooms. We have brown baby bella mushrooms and we also have white button mushrooms. For more normal size mushrooms, we just cut them in half. But these guys are big honkers, so I'm probably gonna cut these into, quarter them so that they're more bite size. We have a lot of mushrooms to chop, so what do you say we chat about crawfish? Long before the French arrived in Louisiana, the Native Americans of the region fished for mudbugs. By the 1700s, when the Acadians, now called Cajuns, landed in Louisiana from Canada, crawfish was seen as poor folk food. It was mainly eaten out of necessity because it was cheap and readily available, but the Acadians soon began modifying Canadian lobster recipes to suit the smaller crustacean. To quote the Louisiana Office of Tourism, Creole restaurateurs in New Orleans caught on, and once it took off in the Big Easy, the secret was out. Crawfish became synonymous with Louisiana cooking. Next, we're going to prep our citrus. We have oranges and lemons. We're going to slice one of the oranges and one of the lemons, and then we're going to juice one of the lemons and one of the oranges.
Val, why are you putting your hand underneath it?
To catch the seeds. And now for the cherry on top, or rather, the parsley. We're going to mince up some parsley to top our finished crawfish boil off with. Now that we're done prepping all of our vegetables, we're going to sear our sausages. Try saying that 10 times fast.
Sear our sausages, sear our sausages, sear our sausages, sear our sausages. Let's get our boil boiling. Fill a 16 to 20 quart pot with water, boil mix, onion, garlic, citrus juice and slices, and bay leaves and bring to a boil. Then add the potatoes, mushrooms, corn, sausage, and cook for 10 minutes or until potatoes are fork tender. So you may be asking yourself, what is a crawfish boil? A crawfish boil is a Louisianian method of cooking crawfish in a vat of heavily seasoned boiling water along with butter, sausage, corn on the cob, and potatoes. You'll find things like coriander, cloves, allspice, paprika, and cayenne pepper in the boil mix. There's something truly magical about visiting Louisiana during the months of February to April. If you happen to find yourself in the Pelican State during the Lenten season, where Catholics abstain from eating meat on Fridays, you're bound to come across these enormous stainless steel vats heated by a propane flame. You can't miss them, and if you venture close enough to one of these simmering cauldrons, you're almost certain to be smacked in the face by the delectable aroma wafting out. It's a scent that'll get in your nostrils and embed itself in your brain, putting you under its spell. You may find yourself asking, what manner of voodoo witchcraft is simmering inside these stainless steel vats? The best kind, naturally.
We are from the Gulf Coast, Houston specifically, and Louisiana's culinary influence is strong here. Crawfish boils are something we grew up eating, and literally nothing beats backyard crawfish boils. My brother's crawfish recipe is elite, and our recipe was inspired by his.
Last step. Remove from the pot and let sit for 10 minutes. Strain, pour over melted butter, top with additional boil seasoning, which is optional depending on your level of heat tolerance, and garnish with parsley. And perhaps most importantly, enjoy! Cheers. Dude, all the flavors there. What do you think?
Spicy.
It does have a bit of heat. Ooh wee.
The mushrooms soak up all of the flavor.
They do. It has that meatiness of meat. Crawfish.
Yeah, we grew up eating this dish because we live in the Gulf Coast. We grew up in the Gulf Coast. So this was actually one of the dishes that we missed most, unexpectedly. Yeah, I think one of the cool things about being plant-based is that you have to experiment and be creative. And the one thing that we learned is that it's the crawfish boil seasoning that makes the crawfish boil and not the crawfish.
It's true. I mean, really,
All the flavors are here.
like the crawfish itself doesn't really taste like anything. And it's kind of nasty. I mean, I remember the first time I tried it, like, I was kind of grossed out. You have to pull out the poop chute and you have to suck the head. Totally what you want to talk about when you're eating this. But, I mean,
Poop chutes.
yeah, people actually
Talk
do
about
it.
that all the time when I'm eating.
Yeah. Eventually I learned to love it. I mean, really, especially like when we would get crawfish a lot back in our omnivore days. But this is so much better, and you don't have to pull out the poop chute.
And there's no peeling involved.
You tried the sausage?
I did.
It's good.
It's really good. It's really smoky. Spicy, smoky, and then you need corn. And the sweetness, which sort of cuts through all the spice, the heat. You better like heat if you're gonna eat a crawfish boil.
I love the potatoes too. Can't go wrong
Yeah,
with
there's
those.
so a lot going on. There's like the tanginess from the citrus, and then the sweetness from the corn, the heat from the boil mix and the sausage. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a party in your mouth.
Yeah, it really is. It's a Mardi Gras in your mouth.
It's a Mardi Gras in your mouth. Olive oil. Good enough. That's what hips are for. Sausage into the pan.
Should be simmering.
How you doing? Today we're gonna make crawfish!
With. Okay.
Get the shuck out of here. I have a lot of shuck jokes.
Ooh, I need a glass of water. This is a little spicy.
I need some water too.
I'm sweating. I hope it's not on camera. It's how it is. I'm just keeping it
It's
real.
the South, man. It's from the South. You just
You
sweat.
just-
Even
you
just
wake
eating the
up-
food, you sweat.
You wake up in the morning and you start sweating, especially in Texas. If you live in Houston, you know exactly what we're talking about. You close your car door, walk to the grocery store, covered in sweat. I know this is what we want to talk about while we're eating.
And sucking heads. I'm sorry, I gotta excuse myself. I gotta blow my nose.
Yeah,
Want water?
it's like that sometimes. Yeah, I do. Oh.
Oh.
So how was your day? Thanks for asking. Mine was good too.
Head over to plantbasedpassport.com for the full recipe, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you try this recipe, be sure to leave a comment on our blog and share a photo of your creation on Instagram and TikTok. Don't forget to tag us. We release new videos every Friday.